This is the Promineo Front-End Bootcamp Week 3 project for Bootstrap. The instructions this week were to create a new website of at least 2 pages using HTML and Bootstrap. We were required to have a Bootstrap navbar, table, and form, and use the Bootstrap grid to format elements and allow them to stack vertically. To start with, I linked my Bootstrap style sheet through the node modules, as well as adding any scripts at the bottom that might be necessary. I added classes for background colors, text alignment, and text colors anywhere that they were necessary, even on the body, as I wasn't able to do that in a separate CSS sheet in this case. For the navbar, I copied and pasted one that I liked the look of from the Bootstrap documentation, and then changed the colors, as well as adding a left margin of auto to the top to push it to the right. For the other 2 pages, I have moved the span class for screen reader only to the correct slot in the links. For the first 2 sections here, these are in the same row if the screen is large enough, as you can see on this page. However, they shrink when the screen is medium or smaller, as I have set the column size to large. The same goes for the cards below, which I have set my own images, as well as changing the text color and the alignment to the center. For the margin, I added a negative. For the footer, I added a negative margin in order to push it out to the edge of the landing page's content. For the table on the progress page here, I used a fairly simple thing. As you can see, there's no need for styling in most of this. You simply, in the main table element itself, add the correct class, and it is done. So for this case, I use table striped, table dark. For the form, I started with 2 rows, each of them with 2 columns that take up half the space, as you can see here. However, with these columns, I set them to column medium so that if we go on the smaller page, they only stack when the screen is at its very smallest. I added spans from the Bootstrap documentation to create this $sign and the little .00 here, as well as looking up on there, the select element, the class form control, allows for selecting one of the several options. For these 3, they are each on their own row. However, I did set their size using columns so that they don't cover the whole screen. I did the same with the text area at the bottom. For the radio buttons, I gave them the same name with different IDs so that they would have their labels set separately, but only one would be able to be selected at once. I also added required tags to most of these with ARIA label for required so that screen readers can tell. So if I click donate now, it asks me to please fill out this field. Now that I've filled out all of the information on the form, if I click donate, you can see that there's been a change showing that I have pushed the button name for donation, which is the name of all of the buttons. And that is the complete Bootstrap and HTML website.